Alright guys, this is something I have heard almost verbatim from so many different sources. Not like hundreds, but I've heard it from quite a few handful of different people, successful people, very rich people, and it's just very interesting because they almost say verbatim the exact same, word for word. And they obviously don't know about each other. They just happen to stumble across this themselves. This is very, very interesting, and I'm just gonna read it to you, and then I'll tell you who has said it recently in my life. So here's how it goes. Um, it's in this book I'm reading. It's called Top Five Regrets. So let me just set the scene here. Uh, the author of this book is a caretaker for a retirement center, and her book's on the top five regrets of the people, the hundreds of people she's seen pass away. So she's sitting here helping a beautiful elderly lady who's about to pass very soon, and they're sitting in a home, and the elderly lady's name is Pearl. So here they are, and let's just start reading. We would drink gallons of fresh herbal teas while delighting in the gift of each new day. When I commented to her that being there didn't feel like work at all, she brightened up and said, okay, and here's the key thing. Of course, that is how it should be. When you are doing work you love, it doesn't feel like work. It is simply a natural extension of who you are. So those are the key sentences or phrases that have propped up. The key ones, just to repeat, are when you're doing work you love, it doesn't feel like work at all. It's very interesting because I mean I hear this quite often nowadays. Other than this book, which I wasn't expecting to hear it from. Just like a couple days ago, I was watching this interview with Warren Buffett, his son Howard Buffett, and his son Howard Buffett Jr. They're having like a three-way interview at the same time, and Warren Buffett obviously has said this quote numerous times, and then all of a sudden, because it's his son, maybe that's why, but his son said the same thing, and his son is in a completely different industry. He's a farmer. Every day he's out in the fields farming and doing a lot of nonprofit work, using the $1 billion that his father gave him completely for nonprofit, for charity work. And what he's doing, if any of you are interested, is he's trying to fight the horrendous economic structure and systems in many developing countries that are just screwed up to the point where farmers will grow crop, but they aren't even able to feed themselves. How's that possible? They're growing food, aren't they? Well, the land that they're renting oftentimes costs more than the money they're making with the food that they produce, so they can't even eat the food that they grow, even if they see it every day. I mean, it's kind of like the butler who's like starving to death, who works at a restaurant and then sees all this fancy food that he can't eat. I don't know. It's kind of like that, and basically, I think it's very interesting because he was asked about his occupation and how he stumbled across farming and how he loved it, and he says, for me it never really it doesn't feel like work. I love it. I jump out of bed every day to do it, and he does some legit farming, like straight up farming, tractors, trailers, all day long from dawn to dusk. So it's not just like he's not in a mansion or anything. So that's like true passion. That's a state I would like to get to. I don't think everyone gets the luxury of getting to that state, nor do I think this was a true option for every individual, even in the United States of America 50 years ago. For sure, in the Great Depression, people were just trying to get a job. There were lines of thousands of people just trying to get a job, trying to get a piece of food stamps. So this whole follow your passion thing, if there's like a statistic done about how much the phrase popped up in literature and books, in the last 20 years, it's just been rising exponentially. So I do think, depending on the economic state of your economy and what's going on and whatever, you know, it's it depends how much you should embrace this state. Um, but that'd be a great place for me to get to one day. Um, I think it's not a entitlement. It's not like everyone should get. I mean, everyone should get this, but it's not something that you should just sit on your butt and whine and complain and play the victim card if you don't have it. It's something that you would love and you should work towards and try and obtain, kind of like a expensive car or expensive shoes. It's kind of like that, and that's a place I would love to get to one day. Doing work I love so much that it doesn't feel like work, and it's simply a natural extension of yourself. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. As always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.